Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back today to another video on this channel. Hope you're all doing amazing, fabulous. Today, we're diving into Hunger Games Part 2, Catching Fire. How do you like the new setup? Comment box, I want feedback. Anyways, Hunger Games, Catching Fire, let's dive right into it. Before we jump into the video, it takes a long time to make these videos and come up with scripts for these videos. So it's really appreciated if you take the time out to subscribe. Sometimes YouTube glitches out and unsubscribes you. So make sure that you're subscribed. Well, with that out of the way, let's dive right into the video. Get it? Because dive right into the video. So he jumped into the... I'm not very good with puns, okay? I'm bad with them, okay? So today we're going to be talking about Catching Fire, the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy. There's the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. We're going to be talking about the second book today, so hope you all enjoy. So to those of you who watched the previous video or have read the book, this book talks about after Peeta and Katniss won the first Hunger Games. And it's the first time ever in the history of the Hunger Games that two people have ever won it. But how they won it was a little bit of a problem. What they did was, they were in the end supposed to fight each other. But they both decided to eat poisonous berries to kill themselves unless the capital told them to stop. And the capital did tell them to stop because they obviously needed a winner. If there was no winner of the games, someone was going to be executed painfully, probably the game makers. So in this book we continue on what kind of events happened after that, because in the previous book we saw the capital and President Snow, who is soon going to be the villain in these next two books. He was not happy with their stunt of the berries. He believes it portrays rebellion, a rebellious attitude. Now before you think too weird, catching fire doesn't mean like all the 12 districts burn into flames and they're just trying to put out fires with big hoses. No. What they're trying to do is Catching Fire points out to two things. One, her spark of rebellion to go against the capital's rules by pulling out those berries sparks a fire which starts a revolution against the capital. And second, obviously Catching Fire. If you remember, Katniss was the girl on fire when she was introduced in the Hunger Games in the first book. So there are two references just here in the title. Let's read the back of the book, shall we? Sparks are igniting, flames are spreading, and the capital wants revenge. Yeah, there you go. Sparks are igniting, flames are spreading. Doesn't mean big hoses with water. Against all odds, Katniss has won the Hunger Games. She and fellow District 12 tribute, Peeta Mellark, are miraculously still alive. Katniss should be relieved, happy even. Yeah, try doing that. You're going to be traumatized for the rest of your life. You just kill like 24 other people, 23, 22 actually, because the two of them still lived. So there were total 24 people, two from each district, so 22 of them died and 2 lived. So that's going to be quite traumatizing. After all, she has returned to her family and her longtime friend, Gale. Yet nothing is the way Katniss wishes it to be. Gale holds her at an icy distance. Peeta has turned his back on her completely, and there are whispers of a rebellion against the capital. A rebellion that Katniss and Peeta may have helped create. Just maybe. Nothing, they didn't do anything, just maybe. Much to her shock, Katniss has fueled an unrest that she's afraid she cannot stop. And what scares her even more is that she's not entirely convinced that she should try to stop it. Because she's dumb. As time draws near for Katniss and Peeta to visit the districts on the capital's cruel victory tour, the stakes are higher than ever. If they can't prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that they are lost in their love for each other, the consequences will be horrifying. So the book basically starts off with Gale and Katniss keeping their distance. Two best friends not talking to each other ever since Katniss returned from the Hunger Games. And now Peeta discovered that everything Katniss did for him was not actually any form of caring. It was just a way to portray them both as a team so that they both could survive. And that's why in the end they both pulled out the berries together to amplify the effect that they were so close together that they were willing to die together. So Gale didn't like that. And Katniss is back, and Katniss gets a visit from President Snow. Yes, the president of the capital, the most powerful man in Panem. He's in her home, just sitting there eating tea and biscuits. So he tells her that her act of the berries has sparked a revolution in all the 12 districts. Slowly, people are seeing this as an act of standing up against the capital, and they believe they can do the same. The reason he is so against rebellious movements is that there used to be the dark days, olden times where things were all chaos. As we know, this is from the future of North America. So they are trying to say that North America had a massive war, and what's left of it was Panem. It's quite similar to the Divergent story, where again there's a huge war and only a few districts are left out of them. Anyways, I better stop linking two different books which have no meaning. Ignore me. So now President Snow tells her that she has to prove to all the districts, she has to prove to him that they both actually care for each other, Peeta and Katniss. Because that was the reason they pulled out the berries, that was the reason they were dying together. So they need to prove this so that it doesn't seem an act of rebellion. But she doesn't want to try. She's endangering her family, friends, everyone she ever knows for the fact that she doesn't want to try. And that in itself is a huge risk, because when President Snow has visited you and wants you to do something, you should do it. Just do it. Okay? You should do it because it's going to endanger your family, your friends, anyone you've ever known or cared about. It's going to endanger all of them if you don't go through with what he said. So you better do that. But she doesn't. She's unable to do that. So, okay. Now, this year, they won the last 74th Hunger Games. This time, upcoming next is the 75th Hunger Games, which is referred to as a quarter quell. Meaning, every 25th anniversary of the Hunger Games, a special Hunger Games is held with a particular twist. Basically, there's double the participants. So instead of 24 tributes, there are 48 tributes from all of the districts. I'm assuming that each district is now meant to send 4. So the previous quarter quell, the 50th Hunger Games, was where their mentor Haymitch had won. How he won? Hunger Games has an arena. If you go to the very end of the arena and you try to jump off into a void, you get flung back up. So if you throw anything there, it comes back up. So when there was a final match between Haymitch and another girl, she threw an axe. He dodged it. So she was like trying to outlast him. Her eye was poked out and it's kind of bloody. And then the axe comes back, swinging straight into her head, and Haymitch won the 50th Hunger Games and the quarter quell. But this year, the twist is, now, okay, this is a little bit of a spoiler, so those of you who are extreme, hardcore fans of the book and want to read it without knowing any of the spoilers, don't listen to this part. But to those of you who actually want to hear this quarter quell, all the previous group of victors will be sent back into the arena. One girl, one boy from the districts. And for Katniss here, it definitely means, since there are only 2 men and 1 girl from her district who have won. Her, Haymitch and Peeta. So one of Haymitch and Peeta can decide to go in with her, but she 100% has to pop back into the arena with all the winners of the past Hunger Games who are still alive from all the districts. 24 tougher champions than ever before. You might think, why? Again, the act of rebellion against the capital has made President Snow to decide to put all the old victors in, which inevitably means one of Peeta or Haymitch is going to come, but Katniss, who he's specifically mad at, is definitely going to attend the quarter quell. Now here's where things get a little bit twisted around. So all of the victors are in there. Many of them are friends because they've been long-time friends watching the games. Like Haymitch has won the 50th Hunger Games, and he's been living 15 years after that, attending every single Hunger Games, mentoring all these different people, all the tributes who came from District 12. So he pretty much has a bond with everyone else. So it's basically the same for them. Now, some statistics for the book. First of all, this book is definitely 14 to 15 years above. Below that, first of all, you won't understand. Second, it's too gory, filled with violent scenes. And third, the language is just a little bit next level. This book is a total of 391 pages from start to finish. It's all the book. There are no acknowledgements. The acknowledgements come in the final book. And super jam-packed with action. But again, lots of bloody scenes and violence. And Anyways, Susan Collins has written a perfect book. Again, I cannot stress on how much I want you guys to read this, and drop your feedback in the comment box down below. Now, particular reviews for this book are: whereas Katniss kills with finesse, Collins writes with raw power, said by Time Magazine. Collins has done that rare thing. She has written a sequel that improves upon the first book. The New York Times Book Review. This is also a major motion picture now, so you can watch that obviously, but I recommend reading the book. They cut a lot of things out in the motion picture. So this is the second book for the Hunger Games. Thank you so much for watching this video. After this video comes Mockingjay. So that'll be the end of the Hunger Games series. So if you guys have some suggestions on which book I should review next, pop down, comment box, it's all yours. Do whatever you want with it. You can drop a like on this video just to show your support. And super interesting, grab the book right now. Mockingjay, here I come. I'm flying like a mockingjay. Bye.